Here we go. All right.
So just us?
Yeah.
Group discussion.
Oh, there he goes.
Is it Jared? Can't hear you. You're muted.
Yeah, it says your thing is muted.
All right, I was talking to my wife.
There you go. All right, guys, we'll go ahead and get started. Good to have you, Jaron. All right. Well, I'll just start with the first couple here. The Bureau of Labor Statistics produces data on unemployment and other aspects of the labor market for a regular survey of about, I put C, 60,000.
Yeah, that's what I got.
I like those. They're pretty straightforward like that.
Yeah, just kind of lays it out for you.
Yeah. And then number two, what is the U4 measurement of labor underutilization? Underutilization. Okay. U4 is the total unemployment plus discouraged workers. So I did that by divided by 100 million. Yeah, I did the 100 million plus the 0.8 difference of the unemployed and unemployed discouraged workers to get the discouraged workers into the equation.
Right.
Does that make sense? So I did 7 divided by
100 million.
That sound right?
Yeah. So it would be C.
C, 7%.
6.9.
So it's the total unemployed plus the discouraged workers, right?
Yeah.
And then you divide that by your labor force, which is 100 million, right?
Yes.
All right. So yeah.
But you add to the labor force the 0.8 difference, right?
Do you?
Do you?
No, I don't think
the labor
so.
force doesn't include, the labor force doesn't include them, though.
U4 measurement. Where to find that?
Yeah.
Unemployed plus discouraged over labor force plus discouraged. So you have to have the discouraged to the labor force before you divide. So this would be...
Yeah. So
Okay, so you have the
labor force
800,000 then.
labor force plus discouraged is 100.8, right?
Yes, so you'd have to add the 0.8 to the 100 million.
Okay.
So that'd be 7 divided by 100.8 times 100.
6.9. Okay.
That'd be 6.9.
Okay. That's what I got.
Alrighty.
Oh, can y'all run that one more time? Cause I did the 7 million over the
It's 7 million, and then if you look right under it, total unemployed is 6.2.
Mm-hmm.
0.8 discouraged. 800,000. So now you have that 800,000 to the 100 million. So you get 100.8 in the labor force.
I have the formula pulled up here if you can see it.
Pull it up real quick.
Yeah, keep talking, and I think it'll show up on your screen.
Oh, okay. That makes sense now.
you got to add discouraged on both sides of the equation.
Okay, that makes sense.
Number 3, all else equal, which of the following would increase the unemployment rate? Through each of these, an increase in the number of women who return to work, stay-at-home moms. So that definitely wouldn't increase the unemployment rate.
Nope.
That'd probably make it better, if anything. Number 2, a preference among older men to retire early. So that would increase the unemployment rate for the
no,
few
it would-
weeks that.
No, they're not affect. They don't affect it. Retirees.
Wait. They would leave the labor force.
Wait, they would
not
for
be-
the first. They would for the first 5 weeks.
No,
Wouldn't
no,
they?
it wouldn't. No, because they would leave the labor force completely. I believe.
Okay. 30 or whatever. Let's say somebody retires at 65. For the first 5 weeks, aren't they? They're not collecting unemployment, though, right?
Not
Okay.
in the labor force. This category includes those who fit neither the first two, such as full-time students, homemakers, and retirees.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're not counted as part of the. They're no longer labor force qualified or part of that group. So,
Okay, that makes sense then. Number 3, an increase in the maximum number of weeks for which someone can receive government unemployment benefits.
so that would.
That would.
That would. And then an increase in the number of previously unemployed women who stopped looking for work and became discouraged workers. So discouraged workers are not counted, so that would not. So that would have to be B only.
Yep.
Yep, that's what I got.
I'll do one more here. Marginally attached workers are people who are being not working and are not looking for work, but would work if asked.
That's what I got.
That's what I got too.
Okay, so somebody want to tackle the next one?
Sure, I'll take over for a couple.
Okay.
All right, so we got 5. So suppose the Bureau of Labor Statistics reports the entire adult population of Manculand, whatever, I don't even know how you're supposed to say that, but can be categorized as follows: 25 million people employed, 3 million people unemployed, 1 million discouraged workers, and 1 million people who are either students, homemakers, retirees, or other people not seeking employment. So, number 5, what is the labor force participation rate? So, for that one, I was bouncing back and forth between D and C, but I want to say it's D.
I got C.
Let's see. 28 million over 30.
Okay. Because I wasn't sure if you included the discouraged
Because
workers or
1 million.
not.
Yeah, 1 million. The discouraged workers don't count, and students, homemakers, retirees don't count.
Okay. Yeah, I knew those guys didn't. I just
But they,
wasn't 100% certain on the discouraged workers whether they were included or not. But yeah. So C was the.
and it's a labor force, not unemployment, so you count the whole population
Right.
who are working or in the work force.
Okay. So number 6 then. Evidence from research studies by economists. Either A shows that increased unemployment benefits decrease. Okay, I'll talk to you in a minute. Sorry about that. Where were we? Yeah, shows that increased unemployment benefits decrease the job search efforts of the unemployed. B shows that increased areas. I got A on that one.
Agree.
Yeah, I got 8 as well. I think I read it in one of the paragraphs.
Yeah, and it makes sense if you increase the benefits you get for being unemployed, and you might as well just stay unemployed.
Yeah.
If only.
And number 7, Gwen is an unpaid worker in her family's restaurant. The Bureau of Labor Statistics counts Gwen as, I have her down as C, employed and in the labor force.
Agree.
Agree.
Yep.
Number 8, suppose the Bureau of Labor Statistics report. Okay, it's the same scenario as before. What is the unemployment rate? So this one, since I got my numbers right now, it would be A. Correct? Or no, B. Yeah.
I agree.
That's C.
Yeah, good to see you.
That's
It
3
should be
million
unemployed.
divided by 28.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. I was looking at the wrong thing. Yeah, because you take your 3 million divided by the 25. Or
28.
28, yeah. Okay, yeah. I marked that one wrong. All right, 9. Unemployment that results because it takes time for workers to search for jobs that best suit their tastes and skills is called. I've got D, frictional unemployment.
Agree.
Agree.
Everybody good on that one? All right, and I'll do one last one. So, who
Which
in the
one was
adult
that one
population?
again? I'm sorry.
D, frictional unemployment.
Okay.
Since they're just trying to find a job that fits their skills, and it's not because of just lack of jobs or anything like that. All right, so 10. Who in the adult population is counted as employed in the U.S. labor statistics? And this one I have A. People who are temporarily absent from their job and people who work without pay in a family member's business.
Agree.
What I got.
Agree.
All right. Does anybody else want to do a couple of them?
Take the next couple ones. 11. Which of the following is not a reason economies experience structural unemployment? This one's a little tricky. I think it's A.
Not a reason.
Because the book worded it weirdly because it includes it, but it also doesn't really say. I mean, technically speaking, it doesn't really affect it.
Wages are set above the level that brings supply and demand into equilibrium. Minimum wage laws, unions, and efficiency wages. Yeah, I think you're right.
Huh?
It is not a reason. Because the other three are listed as reasons.
Because unions affect it, or one of the reasons.
Yep.
Jobs are a reason.
Efficiency wages is the reason.
So, just by process of elimination, yeah. Makes sense.
Number 12. If changing consumer preferences increases the demand for satellite radios and decreases the demand For video cassettes, recorders in the economy will exhibit a D, efficiency wages. Because they're going to want to, pay their employees to produce higher quality work.
I guess that kind of makes. I got C on this one, just because you're gonna have a lot of people in the video cassette recorders that are gonna start losing jobs because they're less popular and gonna have to start switching over to something else. So
I didn't think about it that way either.
Could also be an increase in the natural rate of unemployment.
Would it be frictional from those going from radio to cassette?
it's kind of what I'm thinking. Because you got people who are specialized in cassette tapes.
Frictional
Because
unemployment.
satellites increasing, the job demand for jobs in satellite radio is going to increase, but job demand in video cassette tapes is going to go down, so people are going to be laid off to find work elsewhere.
Yeah, I'm trying to think it is frictional.
Wages anywhere in there. One's going up and one's going down, so I don't know if it's wages. And the other ones are increase and decrease, so
Yeah, I think it is C then.
Yeah, the natural rate of unemployment, I can kind of see where you're going at on that one, but I think since one demand is increasing and the other is decreasing, it kind of balances out more or less. So I don't think it's the natural rate of unemployment, but I could be wrong.
oh yeah. Yeah, but which would it be, an increase or a decrease? Because one's increasing and one's decreasing.
Right.
Wouldn't that even out the natural rate?
I think it evens out. So
Well, I think eventually it would even out, but in the beginning, when there's a decrease in the market for cassette players, people will be eventually laid off because there's not enough demand to meet production.
right.
So they'll have to decrease their production.
And it doesn't give us enough specifics to say whether how
Yeah, it doesn't
big
say,
the demand
they're
is.
hiring all kinds of people or not.
Technically, any answer could be correct depending upon how you're looking at it.
Depending on your interpretation of the question.
We'll have to look that one up.
Double check it.
Where are we at?
Now we're
Oh, what'd you guys get for 11? I'm sorry.
for 11.
A.
A, job search.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sorry I missed that.
It's all good.
What do we got? 13, public policy.
I got A, can reduce both frictional unemployment and the natural rate of unemployment.
I agree on that one.
Agree.
And 14, if there were no factors keeping wages from reaching equilibrium price, then there would be no natural rate of unemployment.
No factors. Keeping wages.
Keep wages.
I just went off of the type of unemployment.
I was gonna say this one. Granted, I could be wrong again, but I got C, just because where you're Hold on, let me read the question again. What factors keep wages from reaching equilibrium? Yeah, because isn't structural unemployment having to do with either the wage is too high or too low, and so there's either not enough jobs or too many jobs and not enough people to supply them. Whereas if you could find that equilibrium, you have the right amount of jobs for the right price, and there's enough people to fill those jobs. In my thinking,
So that means the jobs are steady. It's nothing.
Yeah.
Are we on 14 or 15?
14.
14. So doesn't the natural rate go up and down? It's kind of
Gradually, yes. But
Yeah.
the natural rate is used as a baseline. Um,
what is structural unemployment again?
When there's fewer jobs than there are workers.
Yeah, isn't that kind of where the next section of the thing goes? Is where you have your supply and demand curves for jobs. And if you have certain wage problems, you either have a high wage where everyone's trying to get a job, but there's not enough jobs available at that wage, and so you have problems with unemployment. Whereas if you could reach that equilibrium, you have more or less everyone employed. Or at least that's what I understood from it. Maybe take another look at that one.
Right. Which one? 15?
14. Or did we decide? Maybe I.
No.
Did we lose Jim?
We may have lost them. He said he was in a hotel room with bad reception. Still thinking.
I think it is structural.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Because structural has to do with specific, like looking for specific jobs. And just found this little sentence here. While minimum wage laws are one reason unemployment exists in the economy, they do not affect everyone.
Right, and structural unemployment, you're usually looking at
Specifically like entry level or things that don't need special skills.
right, and so that's where a lot of the times you'll use that supply and demand curve to find your equilibrium point of where you can get the right jobs for the right number of people at the right price. Or the right wage, I should say. So we're going to go with C.
Let's go with C.
I'm not sure if I can invite Jim back or whether...
Who is the moderator?
Jim. Jim. Yeah. Let me text him real quick and see if... See if we can't get him back in here, whether he's out.
Jim joined us hangout.
Try to add him again, and sent them in.
There he is.
There he is.
Gotta love that hotel room Wi-Fi.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that, guys.
I don't think we're going to lose him again.
All right.
Still got you, Jim?
I'm here.
All right, so let me go ahead and go on to number 5. If unemployment is
we,
2,000... No, number
first,
15.
we agreed on C for 14.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
On number
14, we agreed with C.
14, we agreed with C.
that it was what? Structural?
Structural.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Okay. Or 15, if unemployment is 2,000 workers, then minimum wage must be, I went with C, $7.
I believe it's $8.
Oh,
Because unemployment is above the equilibrium.
wouldn't $7 be above the equilibrium?
It is, but it's only it's demanded, or its supply is 60 workers,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have to find your...
and so $8 would put it at 70, which would be 20. Or unemployment is 2,000.
Yeah, it's
2,000.
moving. Equilibrium is at $6, and you get 5,000 workers. So if your unemployment is 2,000,
Yeah,
you got to
so
move
it'd be-
to the right 2,000, which gives you a price on your supply curve of $8.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, this one kind of threw me off for a little bit because I wasn't sure if it was supposed to be under or over the line there. So for a second, I thought it was $4, but yeah, $8 definitely makes sense.
Which must be minus 2,000.
So we all good on that one?
I'm just trying to figure out how you figured that out. So the equilibrium is 5,000 at 6, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah,
follow
just
your
think of it.
supply curve up,
Just think of it of having a surplus of a product, so that you were
Oh, I get it.
because demand is low, you have a surplus of workers, and so those workers you don't need, so you just trim the fat and get rid of them.
Because if we had if it would have
The
been,
rises on the supply. The rises on the supply curve or the demand?
On the supply curve.
Okay, and then crosses over to the A. Okay.
because I think your supply curve is supposed to be implying like your labor force or people that can be employed, and then your demand is employers.
Okay.
So at that point, you have a lot of people that want to be employed, but there's not as many jobs available at that price.
because at my original answer at 7, it would only be 10,000 unemployed, or 1,000 unemployed, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now I understand. Okay, that makes sense. Okay,
Cool. All right.
cool. 16.
Thank you.
Workers searching for jobs that best suit them is mostly closely associated with frictional unemployment.
Yeah, that's what I get.
That's it.
Do you like me to finish these off, or does anybody else want to?
I'll take over.
Okay.
All right, so number 17, if the government imposes a minimum wage of $4, how many workers will be unemployed? But this one, the book's not, I'm looking, but the book's not really saying what happens if the price falls below the equilibrium.
Yeah, that's why I kind of, like on the previous one we were talking about, I wasn't sure if 4 could also be a possibility on unemployment, because you'd think, at a low price of minimum wage, you wouldn't have as much incentive for workers to go out, but at the same time, I guess, depending on what your society likes, maybe people are just willing to take what they can get. So if that's the case, then 0, but if not, then it'd be...
Well, I don't think the price is their wage. I think the price is just the price of the product, and so that price, there's more demand for that product. More demand for that product or service means you need more workers to meet that supply. So this would actually be creating a surplus of demand.
So you'd have more jobs than workers.
Yeah, and that's not really unemployment. That's more jobs.
Right. I know, it just seems weird trying to think about that logically, because I think if they lowered minimum wage... No, because I guess... yeah, I guess we'll go with...
Because if you look at what's happening... Well, if you look at what's happening right now with McDonald's in some states, like in California, minimum wage has been, in Seattle, minimum wage has been increased at $15 an hour. So McDonald's is laying off employees, and they're just getting machines to take their place, because at that they can't afford to pay that many people.
Right. Which, totally makes sense that you would lay off more people, but I just wonder if there's ever a point where if you drop minimum wage too much, whether there's no longer an incentive to go out and find a job. I don't know, if you're working at McDonald's making, say $4 an hour, would it be worth to put in that much work for only $4 an hour? You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
But I guess...
But also,
in a state, if you're not making any income whatsoever and that's the only thing available, then I guess you got to take what you can get. So,
but also you have to consider that this is also a structural structural unemployment, so a skilled worker is not going to be looking for minimum wage.
It's true. So going with A then, Zero.
I got C, and I'm just looking at it as a supply and demand curve, the same way, but I might be wrong.
Equilibrium is $6 to 5,000 workers. So if you make it $4, I was thinking it's either 3,000 or 7,000 are unemployed. You know, you can do logic for whatever, but I don't know if it would increase workers or make more workers mad. I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm kind of struggling with. Is originally I got the 3,000 for B just because you follow the curve down and you go down 3,000 workers, but I could see what Jaron's saying about I guess in a society where if you're not making any kind of wage at all, you'd rather take the minimum wage of $4 rather than making no wage. And so at that point, you'd have more employers trying to employ people at that minimum wage rather than having a higher minimum wage and not having as much demand.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, I guess that's one I have to look at a little more, but yeah, I can see how it could be A.
I'm finding that a lot of these questions depends on how you look at it.
Yeah, it's...
Then you got to try to find the rule they use in the book. Look that one up.
Because, the only example I see in the slides or in the book is, when the wage is higher than the equilibrium price. So, doesn't really say what happens when it goes below.
I'm just leaning towards.
Okay. We'll come back to that one if we need to. So number 18, unions contribute to Carson Wentz throws 268 yards, 4 touchdowns as Eagles defeat Redskins 34-24.
Yeah.
Redskins lost today.
Spoiler alert.
All right, so what kind of unemployment do unions contribute to?
Can be, but
So I know they affect structural unemployment, but that's not one of the ones that was listed, and I don't think they affect frictional.
unions are highly specialized.
Not necessarily. I think they do. Which one is? Which let's do the most close thing. I believe they can create structural.
Yeah, they can create
because
structural.
They can strike and say they want higher wages and such, and they get their higher wages. Like, okay, we'll have to let some of you go
So
because we
we're
can't
going to cut
afford
jobs and
Yeah, I'm switching to A because I think they're highly specialized. Hard
well,
for
and
them to move.
also in some states you have to be part of I can't whisper. You have to be part of a union to get a job.
Yeah.
You have to be part of the collective. Are you doing the work?
But are pretty picky about what they can do. you know, the plumbers union, the steel workers union, jobs there, even though they're union. Not too often. So I don't know. I don't think they're part of the natural rate because they bargain and all that. They're hard to fire. I'd be looking this up, but I'm on a 7-inch screen.
Wouldn't you know?
Everything.
The book doesn't talk about at all how unions affect unemployment.
I'm kind of leaning towards B. But
No, I think it is. I say A, the frictional unemployment, but not the natural rate of unemployment.
I want to say C.
Unless which one is frictional? Okay.
your frictional is when you have
Because that's basically what a union.
people that have, you know, specialized skills in one area and then get laid off and they're trying to find another job to apply those skills.
Yeah, so I think they're pretty picky about what they want.
They'll take us jobs, which is basically a union, in my understanding.
On that one, I guess.
Yeah, it'd probably be a good one to look up.
All right. Number 19, paying efficiency wages means that wages are
Yeah, I don't know what that one is.
So I got A on this one because your efficiency wage is employers are increasing the wage that they give to their employees just so that they'll increase their productivity, you know, hopefully have more incentive to work harder, those kind of things. So you're raising your price or your wage above the equilibrium, which I guess makes your profits higher, is what I'm understanding of that.
Above equilibrium wages paid by firms to increase productivity. I think A.
Okay,
No,
that's what
B.
I've got is A.
No, it would be B because profits are higher than otherwise. Does it mean what?
Yeah, A has higher profits are higher than otherwise is on A. B is lower profits.
Okay.
Yeah, so A is higher profits and B is lower. So it wouldn't be very efficient for the company.
Number 20, the theory of efficiency wages provides a possible explanation as to why firms may be inclined to keep their workers' averages above the equilibrium level.
Yeah, so C.
All right.
Should we get on those?
I'm good on those.
I just happened to Google something about 17, and it talks. I got the Wikipedia page about a minimum wage and price floors. And so, granted, it's Wikipedia, so it's not always super accurate, but it's better than nothing. And I thought this was a decent answer to it. So, it says a price floor can be set below the free market equilibrium price And then it shows a graph and says in the graph, the price floor is set below the market price, which means the floor has no practical effect. The government has mandated a minimum price, but the market already bears a higher price. So what I take that to mean is even though there is a minimum wage set that's below the equilibrium price, there's still going to be more employers that are paying a higher price, so there's not going to be any.
So because it's more efficient to be at equilibrium than it is.
Right.
Because of productivity and all that.
Right. You're still going to have more jobs at the higher prices, so I'm thinking the minimum price at 4 is just going to have your unemployment at 0.
Basically, people wouldn't listen to the government.
Nope.
That makes sense. Some people that pay $4.
So you'd have some takers, but not very many at $4. But you'd probably find more at the equilibrium price, but because the price floor is lower than the equilibrium price, it's not going to do anything.
That's cool. Just to a couple of these, how do you want to communicate that? Or do it in the discussion board, or?
I'd like using the Facebook page, but I'm also open to do whatever works best for everybody.
I'm fine with it. Darren?
I am.
All right, guys.
So we're looking at
Any
18
more,
and 15, I think it was. No, not 15.
I got.
Which one? We got 18 we're looking at hard, and
Number 3.
was it 13?
Yeah, public policy, friction, and natural rate. We were trying to figure out which one.
Yeah. And the union, or no, that was 18. Yeah. All right, is that all the ones that we had?
Yep.
Questions on? All right. Cool. Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you. Another good night. So sorry about the interruption, but it happens, I guess.
That's all good. Hope you're having a good time wherever you're at.
Yeah, I'm in Corona, California.
Oh, California.
Down by LA.
Okay. You down there for work or vacation? Or?
Yeah, I had some training today.
Yeah.
I'm actually in Arizona, and I drove yesterday.
Oh, nice.
So,
It's what, like it's an all-day drive, isn't it?
it was like 5 hours because there was a lot of traffic last night. I mean, it was bumper to bumper for an hour last night.
I was thinking more like 10 hours. But...
I'm not that far away. The good thing is I get a company car out of it, so I got to go pick it up tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Cool.
All right.
Alrighty. Guess I'll see you guys next week.
Sounds good, or if not, on Facebook.
Yeah, I'll probably go over these probably tomorrow or sometime and post them before anybody wants to check them out before they take the cruise.
Fredo, get some sleep.
Will do.
All right, see you later.
All right, good one.
All right, guys, take it easy.
Take it easy.